right. Hello, Ginger. How are you doing?
Oh, doing good. How you doing, man?
I cannot complain on this lovely Friday morning. It's truly a
Mm.
pleasure to have you on to kind of talk a little bit about
hmm
who you are and just your journey and your story, because I'm really excited to learn more about you.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
There's no problem. So we can just get started. So let's start with a little short highlight of your experience or success you would like to speak about today.
Successes or experiences? Well, let's see. When it comes to crypto, I'm not going to call that successes at the moment, really. At least in that regard, I unfortunately fortunately and unfortunately was introduced to the whole crypto space back when it was like $1 a Bitcoin. So that's my not success because I totally threw it out the window at that time. But in other areas of my life, there's been a lot of successes. Like I made my splash as a niche glass blower in the borosilicate glass scene, and I made it to like some of the top areas within that scene. Gotten a few books, and enjoyed that fame for a little while until that was done as part of my life. I started a Kickstarter and now have the occasionally at the top of the charts #1 selling gravy boat on Amazon. It's a cat that pukes. And then for a little while, I did an Airbnb thing where that became one of the top destinations in the SF Bay area, at least when Airbnb was a very new company. So before there was like all this fancy stuff that's going on nowadays. So yeah, string of successes behind me, and now I'm here in the financial planning world. Hope to make a splash here.
Hey, it sounds like everything you touch turns to gold. So I am not. There's no
Not
doubt in my
everything.
mind that you're going to be great at what you're doing.
Thanks, man. Thanks. You got to keep your hopes up, right? Just keep plugging along.
There you go. There you go. So,
Mm.
what are some things you're working on or creating right now?
Well, last week was my official brand launch with my firm, Whisper Financial. So there's a fantastic announcement email that went out. It looks just like so beautiful. I hired the right person to do my branding. I'll tell you what, man. And the thing that I am actually developing right now is, well, there's a population of people that I feel are very underserved by the financial planning community. And that's the people who, like, no matter where they are on the financial spectrum, all they want is to just literally just get their shit together. Sorry for that. And I understand if you got to bleep that out. But
Yeah,
in
it's
any
true.
case,
Very true.
right? You need to cover your basics. So my main service is like this white glove, high touch, uh, I help you through everything kind of service geared toward creatives. This other service is all right, great. Let's get your basics covered. Let's knock it out in a few meetings and bam, you're good to go. Anything complicated, you can hire me for that later. But this will get you started.
There you go. I definitely, I think we're kindred spirits on that because I feel like a lot of people don't understand that you won't know what you don't know until someone tells you or you just figure it out in the worst ways.
Right? Yeah, exactly. You don't know what you don't know. So you might as well get somebody who can help you just like figure out the parts so you don't make the big mistakes, right?
Hmm.
And just kind of send you on your way so you can, like, be real in the world.
There you go. And it's not really just based off making as much money off this person as it's really helping this person because there people
Mm-mm.
can unlock so much potential once they kind of have that security and have that just anxiety gone about just the finances in general because it's
Thank
all deal
you. Yes, absolutely. That financial anxiety. And I'll tell you what, that's one of the things that burned me out when I was an artist, when I was doing the glass blowing thing. As much as I was successful at it in the sense that I got like super name recognition at the time within that niche,
with.
at the same time, I wasn't paying my bills in a way that made me not feel anxiety, right? I did the whole starving artist thing. And that's what my firm's about, man, is just helping out creatives and other people who consider themselves in a creative space to take away that anxiety so that they can actually authentically approach the world, approach life, and approach their creations. So, you
I
know,
love that. I truly do. And I'm interested in my glass blowing. What is that something you still do on the side, or is that something you say, okay, I'm done with it? That was my life then, and I'm focused on something different?
Well, man, I had to set it aside like completely for a little while because like I pushed myself too hard. I pushed myself too hard, too fast, and I burnt out, pardon the pun, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I actually just got back on the torch last year and it's my hobby. I got a little shed out back. I just do my little glass thing, it's just for me.
There you go. You always have to have something, makes you feel good at some time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Creators got to create, man.
they do. They have to get that outlet out, and I'm happy that you're still doing something that allows you to find that outlet.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Let me try to stay on task this time, 'cause I feel like we just
Okay.
need to have a conversation like this. But as a global community of professionals, PlannerDAO relies on its members to lead through education, collaboration, and innovation. So, how are you kind of contributing to your superpowers?
My superpowers. Oh, man. The thing that I really think is the cutting edge of financial planning right now is really tying in your finances to your psychology and like getting into your head because that's where your money anxieties, your money thoughts and relationships, that's where they all reside, your head and your heart. They're not sitting on a balance sheet somewhere. So what you got to do is take it inside and understand where it is that you're coming from, what your earliest money memory is, what lessons did you learn when you were a kid from your folks, like whoever it was that was a financial presence in your life. There, once you figure that out, then you can start doing the numbers and all that other APS, right? So that's where I feel that I make my greatest contribution is that cutting edge of financial psychology.
And I like the way you mentioned like your first learning and your first experiences with money. And a lot of times I feel like we are taught to spend money. Like we're young, you see like a game we want or a candy bar or something like, hey, mom or dad, can
Right?
I have some money to spend this? And we don't understand. Like that's the first thought is we have
Mm-hmm.
money just to spend it. Versus we have
Mm-hmm.
money to generate wealth. We have money to take care of ourselves and our future children and everyone else. So it's good that
Mm-hmm.
you're tapping into that psyche that a lot of people have because we all deal with it. That's kind of the first. So I don't know too many people that come out the womb saying, let me go make some money. Maybe some things that you have to, little fun you have to have. But that's
Yeah, coming out not with a golden spoon, but with a calculator in hand, ready to go.
it would definitely make everything else easier if that was the case. But I don't think I don't know for myself. I know I wasn't born with my calculator in hand.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I feel that's such a like an underserved space, and man, it's just beautiful. The times that I've actually sat down with people and done that kind of like psychological exploration with them, I got this whole like beautiful and elegant process to really kind of like dive in. And when I see people make those connections, it's just wonderful.
Isn't it
It's
beautiful?
so satisfying.
You see the light just pop off in their eyes. It's like they just see the
Yeah.
world open up because they know that there's more to life that they never thought was possible.
That's right. Exactly. And here's the other thing, man. I don't know if you've ever heard this statistic before, but supposedly there was a study done and they were taking a look at like how people actually followed through with their financial recommendations. And people who did not address the psychology side of things generally ignored about 80% of the advice. Why would you pay thousands for a financial plan to use only 20% of it?
That's something that these good that we have these statistics. We definitely do, but I want to kind of keep things going along because I know I'm
Okay.
very. I feel like we got a connection here. We'll just keep
Yeah.
talking. But
All right, man.
yeah.
All right. I got you.
So, what's one tool, person, or insight you're searching for right now? Or in other words, who would we like to reach out to, or anyone we can kind of send your way?
Creatives, man, and the neurospicy. I like that word neurospicy, non-neurotypical people, man, because inevitably a creative mind is a neurodivergent mind. And those are my people. Absolutely. Got to
Neurospice.
help them before they hit burnout.
There you go. I like that term, neurospice. I'm gonna have to write that down on mine.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
The last one. Where do you see this space in 5 years, and what are you really excited about just being a part of it?
Where do I see it in 5 years? Well, it's an interesting place to be. Like one of the analogies that I really enjoy is the idea of like when the automobile was a new technology, right? And when that happened, you saw over like 1,800 car companies come out. 1,800. Can you imagine if there were that many like brands of cars to choose from right now? So obviously it went through a pretty severe pruning over time as that industry got out of its infancy and became mature. And that's exactly what we're experiencing here in the crypto markets. It's new, it's young, and we're seeing so many projects, so many protocols and tokens and all this crazy stuff going in. But really, likely, you're only going to see a handful of players really make it long term. So 5 years from now, I imagine the landscape's going to be shrunk, but stronger. So that's where I'm seeing it. And I'm excited to be a part of it, partly because, one, it's new. Two, it's a whole parallel financial system to what is traditional finance, but it's democratic. Everybody has access to it. You got a little bit that you can squeeze between your fingers. That means you can get into crypto and do some stuff. So I love that about it.
Very bright future. I'm happy to be. I know we will see you in the future as well with this. And I wish we could make this longer because this is such a wonderful conversation. But it's been an honor and pleasure to have you on, Ginger. We thank you for your insights and your story, and we're looking forward to see the great things you're going to do in the space.
Hey, man, you just got to keep plugging along, right?
There you go. One day at a time.
All right. Pleasure to meet you, man. Thank you so much for this.
No problem. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right, bye.